Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Joy Burns-Roger. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, delivered his contribution to the 2025-2026 budget on Thursday, June 12, 2025. The Deputy Prime Minister stated that in 2024, we achieved historical heights in tourism with record-setting arrivals, record-setting revenue, and record-setting optimism.
We ended 2024 with over 9 million cruise visitors and a total of over 11.2 million visitors to our shores. We are growing visitor spend. We are strengthening our partnerships with cruise lines, and we are resolutely focused on growing stopovers. And for our part, these record-setting numbers were the result of targeted marketing, strategic partnerships, robust policy, and tireless work of our teams across the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation. And yes, we have more work to do, but our people are indeed feeling it. Guests are staying longer and spending more and returning. And this is not luck. It is the result of strategies that we are unapologetically creating opportunities for Bahamians. Right. And to all those teams and industry partners and many more, the stakeholders and the 400 employees of the Ministry of Tourism, I say thank you for your diligence. Yes. And whenever you have others attempting to denigrate the great work that you are doing, I ask you to continue to stand loud and stand proud. And when we speak of a rebound in our tourism sector, we speak not in generalities or hopeful predictions, We speak in numbers, in fact, and in year-over-year growth that reflects strong strategic execution across markets. From January to April of this year, foreign air and sea arrivals to the Bahamas reached 4.3 million, a significant increase over 3.9 million recorded for the same period in 2024. This represents a year-over-year of 11.7%, and even more strikingly, a 65% increase when compared to the same period in 2019, our last full pre-pandemic year. So let's examine this growth in a little more detail. Nassau Paradise Island, our flagship destination, saw total arrivals grow from 1.8 million in 2024 to 2.05 million this year. That's an increase of 10% per year, year over year, and 26.4% compared to 2019. Importantly, Nassau Paradise Island welcomed over 493,000 air arrivals from January to April 2025, compared to 500,000 in the same period, a slight decrease, yet it's still up 9.1% from the 2019 figures of 498,000. This modest dip in air-only arrivals to Nassau Paradise Island is because of challenges, and I will explain, as well as the constrained room capacity, as noted by the Central Bank in its latest economic development release. Grand Bahama remains the fastest growing island, with air arrivals up 14.5%. And we are confident that Celebration Key, that will open in Freeport next month, will send sea arrivals skyrocketing as well. There you go. Abaco has rebounded remarkably well, registering 173,000 arrivals this year, up 7% from 2024 and 48% over 2019. Abaco's air arrivals have grown 13.7% year over year, second only to Grand Bahama. This steady upward trend speaks to the growing appeal of our family island experiences and our deliberate push to diversify tourism, driving traffic to all of our 16 island destinations. Bimini, which began accelerating cruise visitors only recently in 2022, saw a massive 29.7% increase in total arrivals this year. That's an extraordinary 152% increase from 2019. And while their arrivals to Bimini declined by 11.5% this year, this is largely a reflection of construction during the survey period for the new airport and the temporary cruise berth adjustments. However, I will tell you, Mr. Deputy, that we are anticipating announcing new international airlift arrivals for Bimini real soon.
Excellent.
The Deputy Prime Minister also stated in his contribution to the 2025-2026 budget that our tourism product in the Bahamas is not just about numbers, it's how we transform those numbers into prosperity.
But in partnership with the Bahamas Development Bank, we introduced the GLO grant loan offering, which combines $100,000 in grant funding from the Tourism Development Corporation with technical support focused on financial planning. This program provides our entrepreneurs with the resources and guidance they need to secure sustainable success. We've also invested in critical linkages to strengthen our tourism product. The Agri-Tourism Council has provided international certifications, supported farm-to-the-table event upgrades, and funded local farmers through technical support and grant funding. Similarly, the Creative Tourism Council has energized our orange economy through mentorship programs, training sessions, festivals, exhibitions, and film productions. We've sponsored and supported these initiatives in meaningful and tangible ways, with additional funding and grants and support going towards the continued development of our nation's creative professionals. Youth entrepreneurship remains a priority, and through our Generation Impact program, we've hosted high school entrepreneurship symposiums, we've sponsored Youth Product Expo, and we've conducted in-school entrepreneurship courses, all enhanced with Bahama Host training. And in September, we'll be launching the very first TDC Junior Achievement High School cohort, a pioneering initiative that will seed the next generation of Bahamian tourism business leaders. And through our street musician program, we now have 6 performing, occupying downtown Nassau with rhythms of rake and scrape and junkanoo.
Excellent.
And we're looking for more right now.
Yes.
So this is a call, if you're musically inclined, to seize these opportunities. This not only enhances the visitor experience, but also supports local musicians in a meaningful way. In our ongoing effort to beautify downtown Nassau, we've commissioned 5 talented muralists to transform selected walls along the Eastern Corridor into vibrant canvases, celebrating our heritage, creativity, and national pride. And we are helping Bahamian artists turn public spaces into vibrant expressions of identity and pride, while also creating new economic opportunity in arts and entertainment. We foreshadow that this will take root and morph into an art district, hopefully into one of the side streets, where we can have bars, coffee shops, opportunities for artists and artisans, artistic impressions, expressions, including poets. And yes, we are creating real opportunities for creative artists to thrive. Additionally, we launched the Spark program, a structured grant facilitation effort supporting entrepreneurs in the blue, green, and orange economies, and space tourism. And through this program, qualified applicants can apply for up to $10,000 in grant support for their business expenses. Together, these programs reflect a deep and enduring commitment to expanding opportunities across the tourism landscape, island by island. And they show what is possible when vision is paired with action, when strategy is tied to execution,
Yes.
and when Bahamians are given the support they need to innovate, to grow, and to succeed.
Yes.
We are building a more resilient, inclusive, and dynamic tourism industry. One investment, one island, and one Bahamian at a time. And we will continue to use traditional marketing strategies that work as well as digital marketing and AI-powered tools. And there is no doubt that given the challenges, we will need to spend more to achieve the same results. And I thank the Minister of Finance and my colleagues for their awareness and their understanding that we must continue to keep our shoulders to the wheel and keep our money working for us. We have launched new tourism missions in Canada at the end of this month, and I returned from a mission to Orlando and Miami 2 hours ago, telling the story of our lifetime of islands.
Yes.
And we are actively exploring emerging markets,
Yes.
including South and Central America, Middle East, Africa, and India. And we're enhancing our overall product and focusing on key niche markets, including digital nomad programs, medical tourism in partnership with the Ministry of Health, and niche sectors like fly fishing, game fishing, and ecotourism, especially in the Family Islands. So we are calling Bahamians in West Grand Bahama, in North Abaco, in South and Central Eleuthera,
Yes.
in Maikal, Bimini, all across these islands to get involved with fly fishing and build new bonefish lodges.
Yes.
And we're here to help the agencies of government, including the Tourism Development Corporation, the Bahamas Development Bank, the Small Business Development Center, the BAIC. We are all here to help. To bolster the strategy, we're making it easier to connect. We started direct flights servicing Farmers Key and Ragged Island already. And we're starting Rum Key before the end of this month. And as we continue our work towards driving tourism growth and diversifying the Bahamian economy, our strategy is rooted in product development and market expansion, ensuring that benefits flow to Bahamians across every island. The Tourism Development Corporation will continue to use its resources to support targeted initiatives that add value to our tourism offerings and create meaningful opportunities for our people.
Lastly, the Deputy Prime Minister stated that the Bahamas is leaning into medical tourism. The global market is growing rapidly, and the Bahamas is well positioned with modern legislation to capitalize.
We've lowered VAT to just 5% on stem cell therapies, which supports the development of longevity and regenerative medicine right here at home. We're doing this in close collaboration with the Ministry of Health as we work to establish the Bahamas as a regional hub for cutting-edge care and medical tourism. We continue to proudly support our regattas, homecomings, and festivals because we know that culture is not just who we are, it's also a powerful economic engine. These events drive domestic tourism, it support local businesses, and create jobs in every community they touch. So as we strengthen our tourism product, we're also being bold and aggressive in expanding our international airlift, because access drives arrivals, and arrivals drive economic activity. And I am pleased to announce that we have secured new airlift from Toronto, from Montreal, from Halifax, from Calgary, from Hamilton, and from Ottawa. We're expanding partnerships with Sunwing, Air Canada, WestJet, and another major carrier that we are going to announce shortly.
Yeah.
I can talk some today, Mr. Deputy, and I can keep some.
This will make them apoplectic.
But these additions, are critical to unlocking more of the Canadian market and extending the reach of our Family Islands. This is not by chance. This is not coincidence. This is strategy. This is not luck, Mr. Deputy. We're continuing to ramp up airlift from Florida, using Bahamas Air strategically to connect key source markets with our family islands and increase frequency during peak periods. Regrettably, yesterday we saw the collapse of Silver Airways that services many of our islands from cities in Florida. We regret this and that it has caused some inconvenience. However, we have swiftly mobilized our contingency plans, and Bahamas Air will provide additional flights and more capacity on these routes beginning shortly this month to fill the void. And we are actively engaged with all of our major airline partners to do likewise. And we have met with all of our small carriers as well, who service much needed routes in our family islands. Makers Air, Aztec Air, and others, Tradewinds. We are leaving no stone unturned. And I'm pleased to report that Makers Air will be providing very soon daily direct service to New Bight Cat Island.
All good news.
And that's not by chance, and the MP for Cat Island ain't lucky. That's strategy.
Yes.
And we'll be adding a third flight to Long Island.
Oh, yeah. Coming for Long Island.
That's not luck. That's not chance, and you better believe that's strategy.
Yes.
And these enhancements, Mr. Deputy, are directly tied to our mission-driven marketing efforts and reflect growing demand for more untouched, authentic island destinations.
Yes.
He might be a little upset, Mr. Deputy.
So much good news. It's barely rumbling.
Might be a little apoplectic. As we continue to monitor our competitiveness, to sharpen our strategic focus, as we look to our Caribbean counterparts and some of the gains that they've had, we are becoming even sharper in our approach. A number of our regional neighbors, many of them smaller and traditionally less known tourism destinations, embarked on a deliberate coordinated campaign to expand their connectivity through increased airlift. Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Martin, Grenada, St. Kitts, Cayman Islands, Turks and Caicos. These are all so-called boutique islands. And we concede no ground to them, Mr. Deputy. But to be clear, we must continue to sharpen our edge.
Yes.
The advantage of our product is that we have a market to match of similar size and offering. They got 1, we have 16. We will continue to expand connectivity, both direct, international, as well as domestic commuter services. We will be consistent in the message they sent to the marketplace. We are open, we're safe, we are ready, and we have a product worth flying for.
Yes.
And these efforts are already paying off for us. What we must do now is meet the moment with coordination, with boldness, with speed, and with more financial muscle.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles LaRota, recently attended the general debate of the 18th Conference of State Parties to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in New York City. He delivered the national statement for the country under the theme Enhancing Public Awareness of the Rights and Contributions of Persons with Disabilities for Social Development.
Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I bring greetings on behalf of the government and the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We welcome the theme of this 18th session, which rightly emphasizes the need to raise public awareness of the rights and contributions of persons with disabilities in the head-up to the Second World Summit for Social Development. The Bahamas firmly believes that social development cannot be achieved without full inclusion, visibility, and participation of all people. Our small island developing state, persons with disabilities are not just beneficiaries of development, they are agents of it. We support the exemplary contributions by disabled senior government officials within the Ministry of Education and the Department of Labor. These are not symbolic achievements. They are signs of a society moving towards a right-based and inclusive future. Public consultation remains at the heart of our policy and legislative process. Through the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and partnerships with disabled persons organizations, the government ensures that the voices of persons with disabilities shape our national agenda. We launched the Accessibility Bahamas app to connect persons with disabilities to resources and opportunities, supporting inclusive development through innovation. By integrating accessible features such as ASL, interpretation, and screen reader-friendly content, we are building a more inclusive society. In the same spirit, we recently launched the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities Initiative, a grant and training program developed through the Small Business Development Center. This program provides mentorship, tailored business training, and grants of up to $10,000. This helped to break down barriers to entrepreneurship for persons with disabilities. While progress continues, we acknowledge the gaps that remain, particularly for persons with disabilities in rural or coastal communities. With just 5 years remaining until 2030, we recognize the pressing need to accelerate our efforts. The Bahamas reaffirmed its commitment to the SDGs, especially eradicating poverty and advancing dignity, equality, and justice for all. We take note of the Roundtable's themes for this year, such as inclusive technology and innovative financing. We welcome ongoing dialogue to strengthen global cooperation in these areas. Mr. Chair, we remain committed to building a society where no one is left behind, not in principle and not in practice. I thank you.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training held a boat handover ceremony for the UMP Barracudas, a Class E sloop at Uriah McFree Primary School on Monday, June 16, 2025. The Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, was present and brought remarks.
It is the case that this is a matter of keeping your heritage, which is very important. If you ever lose a sense of who you are as a people, then everything else is lost. It was refreshing to hear that these 5 young people have had an experience, quite frankly, that at my age, and I suspect many of us have not had the ability to see a master boat builder build a Bahamian sloop, to know the principles of it. And you know, my performance at the Exuma Regatta shows that a lot of us don't really know the principles of sailing either, and should be doing exactly what these young people are doing and getting to know our heritage, getting to learn. And so it is the case that this isn't only educational, but a sense of ourselves, returning to who we are as a people, should make us return to who we were as a people when we truly loved one another and did not do the heinous things to one another that we're doing today. So I'm pleased that this came to Uriah McPhee for the edification of everyone. They have a song here. They say they are champions, and I would expect to see the UMP Barracuda at the top of the list in sailing. And so we'd like to thank everyone who participated in this. Certainly the private sector has a big part to play. And the craftsman who passes on his work. So that is admirable. And the next time you're building a boat, let me know, eh? Because all of us must document this. We cannot lose these vital parts of what it means to be Bahamian. And so thank you. It's my pleasure to be here today, and I'll have to grab the people at the National Sailing School because I promised Dallas Knowles that I'm going to get some lessons before I ever step back in a boat. So thank you very much. May God bless this beautiful vessel and these beautiful young Bahamians.
Queens of Paradise, a new and exciting event that will enhance our sports tourism. Carissa Williamson has that story.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture has thrown its support behind Queens of Paradise. Queens of Paradise is a softball initiative aimed at boosting investment in the sport and expanding opportunities for sports tourism and women in athletics across the Bahamas. Acting Director of Sports, Kelsey Johnson-Sills, underscored the ministry's commitment during a press conference with other key stakeholders held at Bahamar Convention Center on May 27, 2025.
It was a privilege to meet the team yesterday, to speak behind closed doors, and it's also a privilege to stand here to promote women's sports. Being the first in the chair and knowing when Todd Dose approached me on it, I was like, okay, this is something that we definitely will have to launch our support behind. I would have indicated yesterday that the women's softball team, our national team, we were once ranked in the world. So if we can use them as a catalyst to propel us back into that ranking, why not? So I want to charge Todd Dose once again to go out there, as well as the Bahamas Softball Federation. The president and I, and the past president, we've shared an excellent relationship. And I want to continue to build on that. So I want to charge them to go out and make sure that our girls are getting the exposure that they need. You know, they will be a part of our subvention program this year, where we'll be giving financial assistance to them. So anything that we can do to promote women in sports, I'm definitely going to put all my, I'm being a little biased here, but I'm going to put all my eggs in the basket to make sure that that happens. But I want to, I also want to congratulate the team members, you know, for having the vision to make sure that our girls have the exposure, like I said, that they need. And I know that this weekend will be a grand weekend, so I want to just use my platform now to invite everybody out to come out to learn, because sports is basically a global thing now and it's growing. So the more that we have persons come in to teach us, we'll be able to teach others. So congratulations once again, and the ministry definitely supports this tournament and any other tournament, Mr. you have in mind. So you can always come to us and get the support that you need.
That is all for this week. Join us every Wednesday as we continue to bring you coverage, highlights, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.